When it comes to the new Malrik gems, it is very, very hard to make a team that works for almost every single keystone. There's so much variation in the fights, whether it's a different boss, whether it's a different mob that spawns, whether it's a different stage makeup, it can cause a lot of issues. But I think I've done just that and made a team that works for almost everything. And the best part is you can substitute almost every single hero in it and get very similar results. So I'll break all of that down, from the gearing, the strategy, how it works, anything that you need. That'll all be in this video. All I ask is that you guys maybe consider subscribing. I know it's kind of annoying to have content creators say it, but we are nearing 10,000 subs, which is my goal for the end of the year. So if you want to help get us there even faster, it would be amazing. But without out of the way, let's get into this. I'm going to pick a random keystone. This one, I'll break it down in a second. It does not matter what the modifiers are. The team will work for it. And this is the team that we will be using. Now, I know a lot of people probably don't have every single unit here, but of course there are substitutions, which will be in the second half. For this, the way that this generally works is in Malrik Trials, you got to pick your 3 platform units, and then you round it out with a ton of round units. That's how the team building for this works. So we have Yovar, and usually there's another platform DPS like a Silas, but we're going to be using Lily and Eloin. 2 healers seems a little bit weird, but it does actually work beautifully. Then we have a very strong ranged DPS for ground tiles. You could use Valkyria. You could use a lot of different things, but I'll explain it a bit further later. And then we have our Talon, who's very, very good for this. And then the Nightmare team rounding it out. Volka can be replaced, believe it or not, but everyone has her, and she's great for the lesser redeployment time, which is obviously amazing. Torador as our main tank. And when it comes to the stage tags, we actually have a flex slot. We have a slot with no one in it, which is very, very important for the Malrik Trials, because the way that these stages are designed, there's a lot of variation. So let's say you have bombs. Well, then you need a Decimus, but you have that slot open, which is beautiful, because now we just put in Decimus, doesn't ruin the team comp, and we can still follow the main game plan while dealing with the stage's requirements. In this one, we have Batwing's Banshee, which is airborne poison. So we're going to have a ground unit that deals damage to aerial units. So for this, we're going to put in a fighter. I'm going to put in an arrogance. You can put in Numera. You could put in literally anything. I'm going to do arrogance. I'm going to literally just auto-equip him. I do not care what his gear is. I'll show the gear after the run. And this is how it works, right? If you need a Decimus, you can put it in. If you need another tank because your Torador's dying and you need to cycle, then put in a Baron or put in a Brokir or anything. If you need to have another ground unit DPS, put in a Valkyria, put in anything. It doesn't matter. We have that potential change up possible in this team. So let's go into this. Now, the way this is going to work is I'm going to show you guys how to place it, how it works, explain it a bit further, and then I'm going to skip ahead to the boss at the end. So if there's a middle part missing, it's because these stages take a while to do. The way we're going to do this is we place down Ardea, we put Eloin facing down. Usually she's facing up, but we're placing her down. And then we're going to put our tank, and then we're going to put our platform DPS on the bottom here. And that's going to be our entire team. Now, I think I did read it wrong, and the poison sort of flyers are only coming through here. So it looks like we did not need arrogance. You could literally just take them out. It makes 0 difference. We have Yovar down here dealing damage, but if they are at the top, we can deal with that as well. Speaking of the top, how should we place things at the top? Because the bottom is completely rounded out. Well, first of all, we put Talon. Talon is so powerful in this game. She's one of the best units in the entire game, in my opinion. I really regret not making a testing video on her. When she's on the ground tile, she gains 4 block, 3 because of the modifiers removing a block. And then she does good damage. She knockbacks, she stuns, I'm pretty sure, and she counts as a platform unit. So if there's any enemies that target platform units, they're actually going to target her instead, which is another benefit of Talon. She is incredibly, incredibly powerful. We're going to put her there. We're going to put our Lily over here. The reason why we need a Piercer Lord is because it's the only way to make Lily reach over here. Then we're going to put our DPS behind Talon, and then we're going to put our final unit that's going to stay down up here. I'm using Kagiri. Kagiri is A0. You could use literally any ground DPS in the entire game. Obviously, the stronger the better. If you guys have an A3 or A5 Kagiri, you're going to have so much of an easier time compared to what I'm going to be doing, so keep that in mind. Now, I'm actually not going to use these two units on the side. I want to really emphasize that they're not needed. If you start needing them, if you need another DPS, well, Arrogance goes here. Arrogance goes here. Arrogance can go down here, right? Volca can go down here if you're using a Decimus. There's a lot of different things you can do. But for this, we don't need it, right? So there's no point in doing it. And that's how this stage works. Now, one of the most important things to note is these guys are incredibly annoying. If anyone gets in this ring around them, they stop taking damage. And it can be very, very infuriating if they stack on top of each other. The whole idea behind Kagiri is he does enough damage where these guys get absolutely melted. He's going to use his ability, then we ult with him, and he's actually going to help Talon out, which is beautiful. And we've killed him. We've killed everything at the top. And as you can see at the bottom is self-sustainable. This is the general idea. We section it off into groups, and we deal with them accordingly. And honestly, this strategy works so well. Kagiri, more damage out there. We click his ultimate. If he doesn't kill them, well, his basic attacks will kill them too. This works even on level 3 mythics. Level 4 mythics, you may need Kagiri Awakenings or to try a different unit. Just a heads up there. Obviously, level 4 mythics are supposed to be only for end-to-end game players. So if it doesn't work for you, don't worry about it, because this will work for most things as well. I'm going to skip ahead because the rest of this is literally just the same. It's more of the same for a while. I'll skip until the boss and we'll see what happens. Now, we're about to spawn the boss. I just want to show you guys partially why Kagiri is the best unit for the top. Even at A0, if we use his ultimate, he's going to detonate and kill everything at the bottom. By the way, if you're struggling on the bottom, literally just use Talon ult. Comes back very fast. Wukong ult comes up very fast. It doesn't really matter. Now we're going to get the boss here. It's going to be an Aatrox. This guy respawns one time. Does like no damage from my experience, and I'm really not worried about it. Here, we're going to just do this. Keep in mind, we still have these units. If we need to place them down, I'll place it down, why not? I don't think it matters at the end of the day. We're just going to click our ultimates and kill it. Then it's going to respawn, and we're going to kill it again. It's going to die so fast that you're barely going to even notice that he died. Bam, dead. I mean, it just works, right? And this is only the first way to do it. We get 10 legendary ones. That's pretty sick. That's actually really nice. Damage-wise, Ardea obviously gets to deal damage to the most amount of people. Kagiri is hitting 2 lanes. Talon and Wukong keep having their lanes hit by Kagiri. It doesn't really matter. Right there, that's how you do it. When it comes to gearing these units, Yovar, we have Cataclysm, just because we have a Piercer piece. You could use Soulbound, makes 0 difference. Try to do a little bit more attack than crit damage on all of these builds. Sentinel's Eye, right there, exclusive. It's ideal. Then for Lily, you want to aim for attack speed, and healing effect as much as you can. Healing effect is very, very good for her. Lily's an epitaph as well. Talon is a hero that is unskilled. Still gets a ton of value. Her build even is wrong. This is a wrong build. You want to do Warlord or really anything else. But the main thing is we're looking for that HP. That HP, okay? This is actually a very wrong build. Holy. She's supposed to have Infernal Roar. You want to look for pieces like attack main. Then you want to go with HP subset. Pieces like this. This is what you want to look for. Left side, you want Wicked Vengeance or Warlord. She's built wrong, and she was still doing a great job, which is impressive. Icarus Chalice as well. Then we get Ardea. Ardea is just attack-focused Soulbound Arcana. with Shattered Hilt is her best. Next we got Elowen. Elowen needs attack speed, and healing effect. I would like more healing effect, but this works. Elysian Epitaph as well. Torador, you want to have his exclusive piece. Does not need to be this good, okay? Next we have, obviously, the stats, HP, defense. Attack speed's good, but not needed. And then Basher Ring for the block. Next we got Volca. Volca's built as a DPS. If you need her, for some reason, to be built as a tank, for any reason, build her as a tank. If you need her to be built any other way, build her that way. I just built her as a DPS, focusing on attack, with her exclusive artifact. Wukong, same thing, Soulbound, attack focused as well, with his exclusive gear. I mean exclusive artifact. And Kagiri, literally the same thing, exclusive as well. That's how you build them. Now, there are substitutions. So for this, I'm going to try to pick a somewhat difficult one that's similar. Same boss on this one. And, I mean, you kind of see it's pretty similar. And when it comes to substitutions, first of all, I know not everyone has Yovar. Okay? Not everyone does. But we do all have Lunaria, if you're trying to do these keystones. Obviously, Araka works too. Araka's better, but I will be using Lunaria just to make it minimum requirement to just show you guys that the lore does not matter. Next, I know not a lot of people do not have Ardea. So instead of Ardea, we're going to be putting in Valkyra. Valkyra works. You could use Zillatu, you could use Lust, you could use really any 2-tile or range or higher units. Valera, when she comes out, is going to be amazing for the bottom. You could use her. It really does not matter, okay? Keep that in mind. Arrogance was the flex slot, so we can take him out. I'm going to be using Valk, because I know a lot of people have Valk. And because we're using Valk, I know not everyone has Elowen, so we can use a Vortex. Vortex buffs Valk a little bit with the shields, and just does the healing. Now we're going to lose the Wood Elf, we're going to lose the Rager Gen. Ultimately a big loss for the team, but it still works at the end of the day. Next, I know we don't have Talon. Not everyone has Talon. We're going to take Talon in, and not everyone has 2 limiteds. Awakening-wise, they weren't too crazy, but Wukong is a 5. Now, I am going to keep Torador because, you know, it is kind of hard to take Torador out. Maybe you could do a tanky Wrath, but I am going to leave Torador in. That's like the one lord I'm going to keep. And then we're going to have to pick some people to replace Talon, replace Kagiri, and replace Wukong. For this, let's pick Salazar. Salazar will replace Kagiri. This guy is free. Currently, everyone is able to get him. There's no reason no one should have him. Next, we also have Abomination. Abomination is going to replace Talon. He does have 1 less block using a specific artifact, but we're going to replace it. Next, we're going to also add in an Arrogance. You could use Arrogance, you could use Lust, you could use Luguru, you could use a non-Nightmare, you could use a Numera. It doesn't matter, as long as it's someone with more than 1 tile range. Keep in mind, Miraidon is coming out, is a limited, is very easy to get, let's be real, and you can use him to replace any of these units at the bottom. Hell, you could probably replace Talon with him. He's very good. He will work beautifully here as well. And the final thing is, because we got rid of Yovar, who doubles as a Lord and a DPS, unfortunately, we do lose that flex slot, and we have to put Silas in. So Silas can be replaced with any marksman in the game. I do recommend a marksman because they do prioritize air. Yuri works. Yovar works. Setram might work. Lucius probably works. Hex definitely works. I mean, there's really any marksman in the game. Calypso, you could use. As long as they do damage and they're a marksman, they work. Now, if you need an extra space for a Decimus because of the bombs or the runners, or really any unit that you need the flex slot for, take out Volca. Take out Volca, solves all your issues, you're golden. Okay? That's all you gotta do. But if you don't need that, if you don't need the flex slot, just put Volca back in. She's just very convenient. I'm gonna gear these guys, and I'll get back to you. Everything is geared now. I basically just did Silas 2 crit damage mains with his exclusive artifact. I really hate how it takes it off sometimes. Lunaria is ungeared. Vortex is in a little bit of a weird build. You want more HP on him, ideally. I personally like to do Ecliptus HP mains, but this account just doesn't have it. But if you want to, you could do like Invig or really any other set and go with something like this. That would be ideal, and then you do an HP left side set. But I am lazy. I'm lazy, okay? Here, Euphoric Orb or Elysian Epitaph is ideal. I didn't mean to take that off of Lily, my bad. Maybe I should have done this more thoroughly, but it's okay. Here, we're gonna put it on. Now, for these, I just did Salazar with his exclusive gear. It's the best way to build him, in my opinion, for damage. Then we have Abomination in the Talon gear that should have been with a bunch of HP substats, and we also have Lunacy Visor for the block. Volca, same thing. Every unit I use, same thing. And then Ardia's gear just went on to Arrogance. And that's how this is going to work. So going into this, we have to deal with a lot of these same things. And the type of team that we're using is ultimately the same. Valk here, Vortex here facing down. Then we're going to place down our Torador. We're going to place down our platform DPS in Silas. And the way this is going to work is exactly the same. Okay, now the boss is going to cause flames. We're going to receive less healing. We're going to have damage taken reduced on one of the mobs, which isn't ideal. When it comes to placing things down, it's going to be the same. Here we're going to do our Abomination. We're going to put our Lily down. Abomination, tanking, and damage. Amazing. Because we're using Arrogance, we can actually put him a tile behind. And something cool about Arrogance is because we don't have that flex slot, because we're using Arrogance instead of Wukong, he actually will deal with any flyers that might spawn at the top if that's one of the modifiers. And Valk and Silas can deal with the bottom. So that's beautiful. Then we put our Salazar up here. And if we're using a Raka, then we have an extra body, or we have Volca, where we have that body too. So you can actually deal potentially with the bombs as long as you cycle the two of them wherever the bombs spawn. Sorry about that. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Now, Abomination, very tanky, has a passive. Lily keeps people alive really well. And we're just going to keep this going. I'm going to go until the top spawns a little bit. Keep in mind this is a legendary, so it's a little less intense. We could use Silas alternating with Valk for the bottom, which is great. Silas has a much longer ult than Yovar. Then as soon as this guy comes in, we Salazar ult him immediately. Twyla is such a good unit for the top as well. Twyla's ult comes back ridiculously fast, so you can just immediately ult as soon as you need, which is really, really good. But I mean, apart from that, we got a free unit, X free unit, we got some very common units, and Silas can be replaced with Hex, can be replaced with Yuri, can be replaced with literally any marksman. It does not matter. Could even not be a marksman, but the thing is that marksmans prioritize flyers a little better, so that's a very good benefit of them. Here we're going to click our Silas ult again. I'm going to keep this going, and I'll see you guys when we get to the boss. Alright, I am back, and we are now on the boss. Silas ult is not up, unfortunately, which is not ideal, but I'm not too worried about this. We are at a point where the enemies are going to come out, though, in about 30 seconds. We have about 30 seconds to deal with this. Keep in mind, we do have Volca to place down, so I guess I will now. Why the heck not? And then we're going to Silas ult. Keep in mind, we do need to kill Aatrox 2 times, once again, but I'm not too worried about that. Right there, revives. Silas is going to burst him down again, and we have basically won. At this point, there's not much more that the boss could do. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. We also have Volca there. We could use Vortex if we need the ult. And then we get the guy at the top. Bam! Dead. Abomination has not gotten low a single time. Like I said, this has been very easy. Like, I could run this on, like, autocast, probably, and it would work. Which is very, very nice. So I could do something else. I could make a coffee. I don't like coffee, it's just an example. I could go use the bathroom, I could get a drink, I could literally play a different game right now. And it would just do it for me. Now, Salazar did just attack below, but it doesn't really matter. And that is the stage done. That is how you use these teams. And honestly, it works so well. So well. I will be using this archetype forever, basically. More of those upgrade things, which is pretty nice. We got 16. Beautiful. But yeah, there you go. That is how you do it. I hope this helps you guys out there. It definitely helped me out a lot. So with that out of the way, that's kind of everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Destined signing out.